Hey guys, today we're going to go over CAD yen short trade that I'm currently in, and moreover cover a new weekly buys on the Nzdusd USD pair. Okay, so let's start with the CAD yen. Alright, this is a daily chart. Let me run you by the current setup I was looking at. So the last daily long trade that formed was right here, and the last daily short trade that formed was right here. And the initial analysis for this bias was stating that this bias was long. However, in my midweek analysis on Wednesday at this point right here, I was explaining that this bias was actually confirmed to be short. Or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot low before reaching this pivot high. And moreover, I was also mentioning that I will be taking an aggressive short entry. So on the following day, on Thursday at this point right here, I took a short entry with a stop loss roughly at this level right here, and its main target at this point right here. Okay, so currently I'm still holding the entire position on this short entry. Okay, so let me show you how I entered this setup in these areas right here. First, let me show you the 1 hour lower confirmation that formed. Let's go over to the 1 hour chart. Okay, so on this 1 hour chart, on my midweek analysis, I'll explain that there was a breakout and immediate break back in of this trend line. Our price came down to that pivot low to create strong short strength. And I was mentioning I was looking for even lower confirmations to take an aggressive short entry. And so as price ranged about and came down to these levels, right at this point right here, there was 5-minute lower confirmation to give me an entry for aggressive short entry. And so I took a short entry roughly at these levels right here with the stop loss at this pivot high and its main target a little bit further below. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you this aggressive short entry setup. Let's go over to the 5-minute chart. Okay, so on this 5-minute chart, right at this point right here, there was a breakout, immediate break back in. And after price ranged about and came down to this pivot low, that created strong short strength. So I took a short entry roughly at these levels right here with a stop loss at this pivot high right here. Okay, so an aggressive entry style uses the even lower time frames to confirm strength in the bias's direction, and also gives you a much tighter stop loss, which is placed at the major pivot high in this case of where that lower confirmation formed. Okay, but this type of aggressive entry style, although it does give you a much tighter stop loss, you have to keep an eye out on the price action until the target is hit, because any sign of current strength in the opposing direction, you have to abort this trade. Okay, so let me explain this a little bit more. Let me zoom out. Okay, so I entered that short entry roughly at these levels with the stop loss at this pivot high, and the main target is a little bit below at this point. And now because I took an aggressive entry, this entire time as price came down all the way down to these levels, I was constantly watching for any current long strength forming, which at this point hasn't formed yet, and I'm still holding my entire short position. Okay, but again, keep in mind, if there's any current strong long strength forming on this pair, I would abort this trade immediately. Okay, and I'll keep you guys updated with that. Alright, so let's go on to the Nzdusd USD pair. Okay, and if you're having trouble understanding what I'm talking about in terms of biases and lower confirmations, please check out my analysis manual, which is an instruction book so you can better understand these forecasts. Alright, this is a monthly chart. Let's start off with an overview. So since there was a breakout and immediate break back in, creating normal long strength. However, in this area right here, although price was coming up, the lower time frame price action was not supporting this long move, and so I was expecting a move all the way back down to this level. And moreover, there's still lower time frame strong short strength. And that said, seeing that if price reaches this pivot low, that will create strong short strength. Putting all these ideas together, in the long term, I'm short bias right back down to this pivot low right here. And moreover, on the weekly chart, there was a strong long trade that formed right here, and a weak short trade that formed right here. And so for the time being, in this short term, I'm long biased right back up to this pivot high right here. Okay, let's talk entries. Okay, so on this weekly chart, the last weekly long trade that formed was right here, and the last weekly short trade that formed was right here. Alright, so let's do our initial analysis and see what's providing long strength and short strength. Let's go over to the monthly chart. Alright, so on this monthly chart, that weekly long trade formed right here. And what's providing long strength is, first of all, we have a nice trend line from way back providing long strength. And moreover, 2 small gaps also providing long strength for that weekly long trade. Okay, and that weekly short trade formed in this area right here. And all there is for this weekly short trade is this monthly legitimate trend line that runs right through here. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the candlesticks to finish up this initial analysis. Let's go over to the weekly chart. Okay, so back on this weekly chart, we have a nice full candle right here, providing a little bit of long strength. At the same time, we have a nice full candle on this side too, providing short strength. So in terms of candlesticks, it's about even. However, going for those monthly elements, the initial analysis is stating that this bias is long, or in other words, price is likely to reach this pivot high before reaching this pivot low. Okay, so let's see what's happening on the lower time frames so I could take an entry on this setup. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so on this 4-hour chart, right at this point right here, there was a fake confirmation of strong long strength. Now that's due to the second low right here not being deep enough compared to this initial dip right here. Okay, then following that, there was a pull down all the way down to these levels. And currently I'm looking at this new trend line right here to see if we get any strong long confirmation. And so price could range about a bit, making the legs of these trend lines roughly equal. And if we get a breakout and immediate break back in, however, price come up to that pivot high, that'll confirm strong long strength, and I'll be willing to take a long entry. Now, moreover, in this case also, I am willing to take an aggressive entry. All right, so we'll just see what happens with this one, and I'll keep you guys updated, guys. Okay, so today let me share with you how I decide lot sizes for my trades. Now, when I decide how many lots I'll trade, I go through a simple procedure. Okay, so the first thing I would do is pick a lot size. So let's say 7 standard lot sizes. Now then I ask myself, do I feel any sense of anxiety, nervousness, or excitement when imagining trading with that lot size? Now if I feel any sense of anxiety or excitement, I will bring down the lot size by 1. Okay, and then after I bring it down, I repeat the same process. I ask myself if I feel any anxiety or nervousness, and if I do, I keep bringing it down. Okay, so let's say I brought down my lot sizes from 7, 6 to 5 according to that procedure. And if at 5 lots I do not feel any sense of anxiety or excitement, I will bring it down 1 lot further. Okay, so that will be 4 standard lot sizes. Okay, and the reason why I try to eliminate any sense of nervousness due to the lot sizes that I trade is because simply being comfortable with the amount you're trading eliminates a host of psychological issues that can actually get in the way of your trading. Okay, so that could be from targets to stop losses and any type of trade management, as well as analysis. Okay, because you want to remember, the markets are always going to give you tricky setups, and there's rarely any instances where the price action is super easy to read. Okay, so being comfortable with their lot sizes actually allows me to analyze price much more efficiently. Okay, and lastly, being completely comfortable with the lot sizes that you trade actually helps a trader, as well as myself, to be focused on what's important in trading. Okay, because like I always say, trading is not a money game. It's a skill and technique game. And what we should be focused on all the time is the evolution of our skill and technique, and not the evolution of our account. Because if we keep our focus on skill and technique and not money, the money will follow. Okay? So that's it for this weekly analysis. I hope you guys have a great week, guys. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.